There is one former finance minister saying it's come 10 years too late, 8 years too late. It's come. But during your term, it never came. The bureaucracy was completely with me in every moment. This exercise was not just a little, tweak here, little tweak there. It was a comprehensive, dredging a reservoir. In a way, the opposition party is conceding that the reform has happened and happened in a big way. They should be gracious enough to say it rather than couch it in so many words.
Mallikarjun Kharge, leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha, has said GST was supposed to be one nation, one tax, but it actually became one nation, 9 taxes. Then Mr. Jairam Ramesh has said that within 20 days you implemented after the Prime Minister's announcement during the August 15th speech at the Red Fort. He says that this was a road roller. It was just a show of a GST council. आपने फैसला तो पहले ही ले लिया था, बाकियों को road roll कर दिया. And some in the Congress are saying कि ये तो 8 साल बहुत देर कर दी. How do you respond to this variety of charges?
Variety of charges, all emanating from the same house, which is the Congress party. My worry is they're getting too obsessed and frustrated. They don't know how in the opposition you can still give credit and be in the opposition with respect. They don't seem to understand on matters which are so publicly well received. They can't be at the edges or fringes and talk as though, this is nothing significant. You be a part of this national mainstream to build this country. If economy is doing well, Navika, it is because of the toil, sweat and toil of our common people. Government at best comes up with favorable policies and at best comes up with ecosystems which can be created to help everybody who is doing his business. And therefore, economy going fastest, I thank people of India. Inflation coming down because of the various supply chain bottlenecks which we removed, it's going to help the people down there who are supplying goods, buying goods, and as a result inflation comes down. Eventually, if we think that we sitting in the opposition are driving the country, I'm sorry, there are times they've driven almost towards chaos, which because there's a responsible ruling dispensation across states, the country is still on, as you say in Hindi, पटरी में जा रही है.
तो मैं ये पूछ रही हूँ कि बिहार के चुनाव आ रहे हैं और क्योंकि बिहार के चुनाव आ रहे हैं तभी आपने ये जीएसटी कम की है, तभी बी फॉर बीडी जहां 28 से 18% हो गया है टैक्स और बी फॉर बिहार ये भी कहा है केरला कांग्रेस ने. इस पर आप क्या कहेंगी?
माफी मांगना पड़ा उनके अपने अलायंस पार्टनर को, क्योंकि आरजेडी के नेता तेजस्वी यादव जी इस विषय को उठाए, उनके ही अलायंस पार्टनर है. बिहार को अपमान करना कांग्रेस को हर बार आता है. बिहार से ही था सीताराम केसरी जी, सही बोल रहा हूं?
बिल्कुल.
उनको कितना अवमानना किया कांग्रेस. बिहार के नेतृत्व और जनता के ऊपर ये हीन भाव है. Am I right in using the word?
हीन भाव,
totally हीन,
नीचा दिखाने के लिए
कोशिश. और हम हैं जो 140 करोड़ पीपल के लिए जीएसटी को ही इतना अमन करके ले आ रहे हैं. अभी बहाना ढूंढ रहे हैं और कांग्रेस के इर्रेस्पॉन्सिबल सोशल मीडिया के वजह से एक अलायंस पार्टनर के सामने आप सर झुककर माफी मांगना पड़ रहा है. ये शोभा नहीं देता है हमारे लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन के पार्टी और उनके पार्टी के सोशल मीडिया हैंडल्स को.
राहुल गांधी को आप क्या कहेंगे और कांग्रेस पार्टी को आप क्या कहेंगे? क्योंकि कांग्रेस पार्टी तो कह रही है कि रिफॉर्म्स 8 साल टू लेट आए हैं. ये पहले आने चाहिए थे क्योंकि राहुल गांधी जी ने आपको ये एडवाइस 2016 में दी थी कि ये गब्बर सिंह टैक्स जो है ये सही नहीं.
If I just take it as reforms and they've come late as reforms, leaving aside the GST side for a moment, as a reform, it's come late. In a way, the opposition party is conceding that the reform has happened and happened in a big way. they should be gracious enough to say it rather than couch it in so many words. That's a plain and simple expectation. But if they are saying, we've been saying this, leader of the opposition has been saying this, you've yielded to it, I wonder why he doesn't tell when their own government was in power. Why didn't he advise them then? अरे रिफॉर्म ले आओ, जीएसटी को गब्बर सिंह टैक्स नहीं कहना चाहिए, मगर आप जीएसटी कम से कम ले आओ. Why didn't he advise his own UPA government? And in fact, he has been a prodigal leader. He could have advised even in 1991, no, Dr. Manmohan Singh, post the opening up of the Indian economy, there were so many promises under the IMF and World Bank which were left unattended. Please do take it up. Age doesn't matter then or even now. Age never matters. If your wise counsel can be given, you could have given it then.
1991 तो राहुल गांधी छोटा था.
I don't know about that. Even today he is a youth leader. So I don't want to discount anybody for age. If the wisdom prevailed and it is available for from the opposition for the current government, that wisdom should have been available even for their own government. Be it the UPA between 2004 and 14 or even 91. So it's sometimes it's outrageous wanting to take credit where it is not due to them.
Given the recent GST reforms shifting to a simplified structure of 5% and 18% plus sin goods at 40%, how does the government plan to mitigate the estimated 48,000 crore annual revenue loss?
See, this estimate is based on the 23-24 year base year. And when models are made, estimates are made, they're made on a static data which is before you. But I expect that from 22nd September, since the tax deduction or reducing of the tax is across the board, poor people will be able to get more for their Deepavalis or Navratris. Middle class, which wants to have their aspirational goods bought, whether it is refrigerator, they have a small one, they want a big one, TV, small one, big one, will all be in the market to buy it, resulting in a better buoyancy. And that better buoyancy will help us. I think it's this story needs to be told and retold and spoken about, not just in studios, not just in clubs where we sit or in friends' places. This story will have to be said in gully, mohalla, nukkad, anywhere, street corners. And we need to speak about it till such a time every Indian citizen understands that this is what has happened. And this is going to impact on his life. And this one tax, GST, impacts on 140 billion people's lives. There is no tax which does this kind of a cutting across sections and reaching to every citizen. Meaning, every citizen waking up in the morning has something or the other bought in the market which has an implication, GST implication. And therefore, taking a major overall revamp is a big exercise. It required so much of working hours, intense working hours. The bureaucracy was completely with me in every moment, like when I would return saying I'm unhappy with this aspect of the proposal, redo it and come back. There was never a bitter moment or a grudge or a unhappiness. So they've worked together to deliver on a promise which Prime Minister Modi gave, and that is why the contours of the central government's proposal to the GST was defined.